how many LinkedIn followers, sometimes called connections, you need in order to make money, because it's a lot less than you may think. And it's a lot easier than you may think when I show you the hacks and tactics and workarounds in this video. To give some context, I now have 11,000 connections, but when I was getting started, when I started using it as a business as opposed to a job, I had 3,000. And so with 8,000 new followers, we've managed to do 2.8 million cash collected. And a lot of it is because of the tactics. In fact, all of it, because the majority of my business comes from LinkedIn, is because of the tactics that I'm going to show you in this short video. But I think first we need to give it some context. We need to kind of get rid of this myth that you need a lot of followers and a lot of an audience in order to grow a business. And why is that a myth? It's a really, really hard question to answer, because I think as human beings, we automatically equate having a big audience, lots of attention, lots of likes and lots of comments with growing a successful business. And that's probably something we can see, feel and experience. But the question really, when we look at it in a bit more depth, and the example here is Airbnb, the apartment rental company, and Wimdu. Have you ever heard of Wimdu? The reason you've never heard of Wimdu is because they were very unsuccessful in building a business, and they basically wanted to build the same business as Airbnb, but did things differently. They went to a really broad market and expanded into China and spent all their funding, 900 million of it, going global and going for everybody they possibly could. Whereas Airbnb did something very, very different. They looked at the resources they had, which by the way were very few. They didn't have much money. Nobody knew who they were. They didn't have much resources to spend on paid advertising, building a brand and all that stuff, because they were busy building an app. So they had to find a way to create a following and get cash from a small following to grow the business without going really broad like Wimdu. And what did they do? They targeted all the people who already had vacation home rentals listed on Craigslist, out for rent as a vacation home, and then they targeted those. That's how they got their foothold in the market. That's how they got the cash, which they could then use to expand. And what I'm going to say today is very much along that vein, because when we peel it back and think about that, what did Airbnb do that Wimdu didn't do? Is they targeted somebody using behavioral searches. They targeted somebody who they knew was likely to build a service, and they also leveraged the finite resources that they have available. And in this, we're going to show you a brand new search on LinkedIn, a behavioral search from one of the new generation of AI apps. But we'll show you that shortly. But the first one I want to show you, and at the end, I'll give you an opportunity, because you can all get this. But the first one that I think a lot of people miss when they're getting going, and this is actually what I did to get my first set of clients. My first set of clients back in 2017, I had no case studies. I didn't have a lot of skill. I had a lot of desire, and I knew I could get people results. I knew I had a skill set. I was looking at all these people on LinkedIn. I was like, they've got loads of following and they're getting clients, but I know I can help people. And if you're one of these people feeling that and you don't want to go back to corporate, or you need to get it working, then I would strongly suggest doing exactly what I did. And this is thinking about lead generation like this. It's very easy to think about lead generation as going for cold leads, messaging people, posting content and targeting people who you think might buy your service. But actually a smarter thing you can do on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is the only platform that does this, by the way, is going back over a timeline of your life. I'm 42, you might be early 30s, late 20s, or you might be older than me. It doesn't really matter how old you are, because you're going to have water under the bridge. What does water under the bridge mean? It means that you're probably going to have experienced things and done things and been part of communities and organizations in the past. And when you're part of a community or organization in the past, it automatically bonds you and creates an emotional connection and makes the probability of people wanting to connect with you and doing business with you higher. Now, the most powerful one of these is a college that you went to. Not even if you didn't go to a college, I'll explain to you how you can do it with business organizations and communities. So what I did, I happened to go to a college called Aston University in the United Kingdom. I cross-referenced the college I went to with small business owners, and I just did that search on LinkedIn, and it's very easy to do, and there's a download below to show you how to do it. I want to get through the tactics and the broad tactics before we get to that, and you can download it at the bottom. It's really, really simple to do. And I message people, and I message them saying things that only somebody that had been to Aston University would know. And this won't make sense to you if you didn't go to Aston University, but if you did, it would do, and you probably respond to me, and people did respond to me, and I got my first 3 clients. And back then we were like 4,000 something. And so I got enough money to give me that runway, to give me that feeling of predictability and consistency and know that something could work. I said, hi there, saw you went to Aston. I went to Aston 1999. I lived in Old Cross House. Where did you live? And be great to connect. And that's it. That's all I wrote. And you will have something that only the people that you went to Aston University will know. And I'll put the download below on the various versions of the scripts you can do. And it's really, really simple. And if you didn't go to the same college as somebody, you can just target somebody that worked for the same business for you, was part of the same sports club, or even the same local geography. Lots of people overlook this. I'm now in Lakeland, Florida, and we do a lot of searches based on reaching out to people in Florida and in Lakeland, and we get lots of connections and we get lots of business that way. So that's the first one. The second one is this, and lots of people say, Mark, I haven't got many testimonials in what I do. There's a really simple way to get around that and get social proof. What's social proof? To show people that you're good at what you do without having it as a business owner, and also doing it at the same time as leveraging that for a referral network. It's a really, really simple thing to do. And this comes from in the United Kingdom. Whenever I have to get a new passport, we still have to get someone to sign the back of the passport, and that person has to come from a list of professions given by the UK government that are deemed and believed to be trustworthy by society. One of those is an accountant, another one's a politician, believe it or not, whatever. But it's just this list of professions, and I've got one friend that I've known for the amount of time they know. That's an accountant that fits these professions that I can use, and so does my group of friends. But that's beside the point. So we just get John, his name is, to sign the back of the passport photo to say that that's the person who's applying. And what you can do is you can think about what types of roles are deemed and believed to be trustworthy and important by society. And it's going to be people that are vice presidents, it's lawyers, it's doctors, people that have a certificate on the role. Now, I personally don't believe that that means they're trustworthy, but why go against the current of psychology? Because if it's just the way that human beings work. So all you need to do is think about your last 10 years, now get to this, 15 years in a role, or in doing what you did, and when you got results for someone within a business, and just reach out to them on LinkedIn and say, could you give me a testimonial about your time working with me? And they'll give you one if you know them well and you got the results. And that gives you all these testimonials that you can get, 3, 4, maybe 5. And that gave me enough social proof when I was getting going. Now, here's the really important thing to do. This is the game changer. When somebody actually does that, reach out to them and say thank you. And I personally buy them a book or a box of chocolates, whatever it is, the individual. You know the individual. And I say, just while I've got you, I call them up to thank them and say, by the way, there's a book on the way. Just while I've got you, I don't know whether you know anybody looking for, insert what you're selling. And this is based on reciprocity. You've just bought them a book, you bought them a box of chocolates, you bought them whatever, you've done something for them. Again, number 1, the university was based on Cialdini and the book Influence. This is also based on the book Cialdini Influence. The first one was collective groups. The second one is known as reciprocity. If you do something for somebody, they're more likely to do something for you. And very, very simple, that you'll get referrals and you'll be able to get your second set of clients. Really, really simple. I got another 2 clients from this. So already I was up to 20,000 cash collected without a budget, without testimonials, and nothing's changed. This is all the same right now. Human nature does not change. All right, number 3, before we get to the little known email upload, and the email upload you can all do to quickly get an influx of connections on your LinkedIn. But let's first of all go to this new search, and there we go. On there you can see here, I've searched in here, and this is an app called Taplio. I'll link it below. It's an affiliate link, and it's a great search that's brand new and part of the new generation of AI apps. So if I go for UK fractional marketing officers, You don't even have to pay for Sales Navigator. Obviously, you've got to pay for this. And it looks for it using the power of AI. I just go fetch it. And I've misspelt it, but we all know AI is super intelligent, and it's going to bring up all the people in that niche. And it's quite slow. So there you go. Active CMO, Evolve Digital Marketing. And then I can just click on them, press Command and click, and I can go into my LinkedIn and I can immediately start to connect with them. And in the download below, I'll give you a script and a load of queries we've got working in this really, really well. So this is a game changer in terms of searching. It's more powerful than Sales Navigator because of what I said to you at the beginning, behavioral searching. LinkedIn, there's a load of stuff. You can say, do they have a podcast? And you can even, there's a load of more stuff that we've got in the download below. But the last one I quickly want to show you is if I go to LinkedIn and I go into my network and I go down here, add personal contacts, and it's a bit buggy, so I'm just going to have to refresh it. But you can actually go through and connect your email address and all the contacts in your email address, and then it will automatically give you the opportunity, free connects that don't count towards the LinkedIn Connect messages. And if you do all these things that I've just showed you, you're really, really simply going to be able to get clients and cash in the door without having a lot of followers, because the truth is this: the amount of followers you have has nothing to do with the money you can make if you do things smart to begin. Now, down the road, is it going to benefit you? Yes, of course it's going to benefit you, but you aren't going to get down the road unless you're able to get the cash to fund you, to take that stress off you, to get your first set of real testimonials, to build your network, to prove yourself, to feel like you're progressing. And if you do all these things, you will absolutely be able to grow your business on LinkedIn without many followers, regardless if you're experienced or just getting out of corporate. So don't forget to download that. I hope that's been useful. Have a wonderful day. Take care.